Hello, welcome to Be a Light with Muxian podcast. My name is Muxian Payeski. I invite the individuals who make the impact on me personally, and also I found them very inspiring to many people outside of my world. And through many platforms, many organizations, and across global, I have met many excellent individuals and leaders. And particularly, I have met some excellent, exceptional leaders in my own community, Asian American community. Today, I have the honor to have invited one of them, Hope Yin. She has been in our community like a light, like a guiding light to many people, not just me, benefited so much from her wisdom and her generosity. So welcome, Hope.
Thank you, Muxian, for such a wonderful opportunity. And thank you for such an amazing introduction.
Thank you for taking your time to share your wisdom with me, because you have been so active, not only just in our Asian American, Chinese American community. I have seen you have been doing so much on LinkedIn and also your industry. You have becoming a strong voice in women leader. So first of all, since both of us are from China, would you like to share a little bit of your background? What brought you from China to US?
Oh, thank you. That's a great question. It's also a great place to start. For me, I was born in the Chinese Cultural Revolution era. For those of people who know, that was the 10-year between 1966 to 1976. A lot of educated people were sent to rural area to be re-educated, quote, quote, re-educated. So my parents were among those people. They lost their job. They went to rural area. So I spent 11 years in a small village, do whatever I can to survive. There was not much resources. But I remember even today vividly, while I was helping my parents to do some chores, I was lying on the ground and looking at the sky and the cloud flowing through the sky. In my small mind, I was thinking, what would the other side of the globe look like? But never did I know that many years later, I was able to move to the other side of the globe and build a life here. So the main reason I moved from the US, from China to the US was, I think my whole life I have been very curious. I have been trying to see what the horizon look like, and moving from a small village to a small town. And then I went to Beijing for my bachelor degree and grad degree. And so I don't think I am done traveling yet. Even though right now I have a family here in the US, but I firmly believe someday I will be living in some other country once my kids finish college. So in summary, I'm looking for a better life. I'm looking for to expand my horizon. I'm looking for meeting great people. I'm looking for making bigger impact.
Yeah, you have this courage and you have this curiosity and adventurous character. That's great. And
Just
so
like you, Muxiao.
yes, yes, so glad you're here and we got to meet with each other and get to see how much you have grown. I believe in the beginning, when you just moved to the United States, a new country, perhaps you also had to overcome a lot of challenges, right? Have you? I know.
So much.
How about share a little bit, like language or culture, or any of the obstacles you had to overcome?
Yeah, when I arrived in the US, I was already 25. As an adult, it's very hard to relearn a new language, even though I learned English in China. As you know, we start to learn in middle school as a subject, right? But we mainly learned about reading and writing, not so much on speaking and listening. So when I first arrived, I couldn't understand anyone and nobody could understand me. It was really challenging. I remember one instance, I went to Kroger, the grocery store. I want to buy some corn. I was trying to explain to the cashier. I said, I want to buy some corn because I learned British English. So I wasn't saying corn, I was saying corn, and they couldn't understand me. I was like, my face was red. I was blushing. I was trying to explain what I was trying to find. So that was just one instance of language was such a barrier. Every single day, almost every single word, we couldn't be understood and we couldn't understand each other. But eventually you learn just by small things, maybe one word at a time. And eventually, I believe I was able to overcome the language barrier. But that was after more than a decade. One night, I was starting to dreaming in English. I was like, oh, that's my turning point. So language is every single day work. Culture, on the other hand, is also a big obstacle because, as you know, I was saying the other half of the globe, right? So we have Eastern culture and Western culture. And there's a lot of things that need to unlearn, need to learn, and need to relearn. So that is also a journey. Even today, I am still learning a lot of things. One of the things I remember when I first arrived, when I went to an American family, and they said, help yourself. Do you know about, we don't know as Chinese, we don't know how to help ourselves. Because when we go to anyone's house, they will give us drink, food, water, fruits, whatever, right? We just need to sit there and wait for the host to provide anything. So I remember in that occasion, I didn't drink anything, I didn't eat anything because I don't know how to help myself. But now I can go to any house to say, hey, where's your water?
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. And talking about language and also culture, immediately your experience reminded me of mine. I remember when I just came here, I was so afraid to pick up a phone calls. I don't know if you had that experience.
Same.
Either I couldn't understand the other side of the person or the other side of the person couldn't understand me. So every time my phone rings, I call my husband. I said, oh, you pick it up. I don't want to get it. And it took me like years to get over that, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, just we learn by doing things.
Yeah. But that's every day, right? Every day we have such a challenge.
Yeah, such challenge. Yeah, step by step. And also about the cultural experience. I remember the first time when I went to my husband's co-worker's house, and they got the tap water for me. I mean, I think it's a culture shock for me. It's like a small thing, because in China we always boil water and or bottled water, but she just casually get the water from tap, give it to me.
We don't drink that, right?
I was afraid to drink it. So I stayed that I didn't drink that water all night. And then I asked my husband, I said, oh, I was their guest and they just served me that water. But my husband said, everyone drinks water just like that. Tap water or from filtered, and it's safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
Even though it's so little, but those are just culture difference.
Yeah, those are just small instances and we notice the difference. But we all overcome by seeing and experiencing and interacting, and we just take those challenges as learning opportunities. Yeah. So now look at you. You're not just overcome these obstacles. You transcended your language barriers, cultural barriers into such successful career. as the executive in your industry and also the LinkedIn voice, I believe recently you were recognized as LinkedIn voice. How you achieve your executive roles through this journey?
Yeah, so I think as a human being innately, we want to be better. We want to be the better version of ourselves. And we also want to contribute to the community, the world, the organization we're working for. So for me, I really love solving problems. I love learn. So I learn new technology and I love serve the customers as a natural progression. I was able to move from a developer to a tech lead to a manager to an executive and also contribute to the community leading women in technology. So I think a lot of that is mindset, a mindset of despite I am an immigrant, despite I am a woman in technology, which is very male dominated, I can succeed. I can be a leader. And there's so many different types and shapes of leader. So I think if we believe in ourselves and work hard, work strategically by leveraging all the relationship that we build around us, because really, if you look around, like you mentioned in the beginning, in the introduction, you got to know so many people. So the people surround us, majority of them, I wouldn't say every single one of them. We know there's resist exist, right?
Yeah.
But majority of them, they're good people. They want to help other people. So leverage those people, build a tribe surrounding you. And by that, we lift each other and we can be successful. I basically think that's what I did because I approached every single person to say, how can I support you? How can you support me? How can I learn from you? How can we succeed together?
Yeah. I love the authenticity that you just demonstrated. Same with me, like we can learn from each other. Everyone can be our teacher. At the same time, we are willing to share. That's the biggest thing, that we can share what we know. We may not know everything now, but we know something, maybe someone who don't know. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I loved that. Also, have you noticed the differences between two countries' culture in that sense to help you succeed?
I think just as everything, it always have two sides, right? If you look at the coin, so of course there are certain traits of the Eastern culture, Chinese culture, because we grew up in a culture of hierarchy, right? We respect our managers, we respect our parents, we never say no to them, we just listen to them, even though today my 85 years old mom still tells me, do this way. I still need to say, oh yes, mom, I will do that, right?
Yeah.
But at work, sometimes it requires us to voice different opinion. So in the beginning, it's really a calculation of, do I say something, do I not? What's the impact if I say something or not saying anything? So in the end, to me, I think, I believe the principle is do the right thing. If you believe that saying something is going to help the organization, help the team, then that gave me power, gave me the fuel to say something. Other times, if it's not a big deal, I may choose not say anything at all. And I think as a leader, that's a fun balance because one principle as a leader is you can't pick on every little thing of your team saying, that should be done differently, right? So you always need to think about, do I say something? If I say something, what might be the impact? If the impact is bigger than the potential harm, then I will say something. I think not only just the culture difference, but also this related to like psychology, related to emotional intelligence, related to communication skills, and certainly all intertwined. On the other hand, I think talking about the culture, as you know, the Chinese culture is more of communal culture. It's like we value the success of our community more than ourselves. We are willing to sacrifice because that's how we were taught, right? So in that case, it's really helpful in some of the scenarios at work because I value the success of the team, the company, more than my own. So sometimes I will do things that maybe is inconvenient to myself, but it's a bigger impact success to the team. And that's how we build our credibility, our reputation, and that's how we stand out and be recognized as a leader. So I think it's always like pro and cons, and depending on how we leverage what we know, how we grew up.
Yeah, I agree. No matter how the structure is formed, and we can learn something from different system, from different culture. Yesterday, I was talking to my two sisters. My mom is not so intelligent intellectually and also emotionally. However, we learned so much from her too. So anyway, it's not very related, but it's just something like we can always see the pros and the cons in things. And I'm so glad you have the courage to speak up and to voice your opinions when you see the bigger impact can benefit the organization. That sets you apart from others. I know you go with hope. Many people actually moved to the new country. They have a very difficult time to set themselves in the new society, like identity crisis, I would say, including names. Based on your name, you probably changed your name. And I personally had the experience. I wanted to change my name because it's so hard for people to pronounce. But then when I give the new name to others, when others called me, I couldn't resonate. When they called me, I feel like, are you calling someone else?
Right.
But I stayed with my own name. So as a successful immigrant, would you like to share a little bit of your insights on the identity and the name?
Absolutely. I think Muxiang, you do have a difficult name for that X, right? A lot of people may have challenges to pronounce that. So for me, my Chinese name is actually very simple. So normally people don't have problem to pronounce it. It's Yanling, Yanling. It's actually two Chinese characters. Yan is colorful, brilliant, and Ling is clever, smart. So as you know, the Chinese names normally it's the parents' wish and hope onto the children, right? Just like your name, I'm sure there's a story there. So when I moved to the US, for a very long time, I kept my own name. And at a certain point, I tried a couple different English names, just like you. It doesn't resonate with me, right? I was like, that's not my name. You're not calling me. But Hope, I adopted this name during 2020. You know what happened in 2020, COVID. And I was also starting my coaching business because when I went through coaching school in 2019 by accident, and I realized that was something that I was looking for, almost feel like, oh my God, I have been looking for this my whole life and I found it. So then I decided I want to share the message to the people surrounding me. In that case, I said, but I want to adopt a simpler, even simpler name, right? And what would be a good name? And by then I got married to my second husband, not married yet, but in that year we got married. So I asked him, I said, hey, help me to come up with a name And he gave me some other names. I didn't like them. And then he said, how about hope? And I immediately resonated with it because to me, during COVID in 2020, people lost hope, a lot of them. So I adopted the name. I started to provide free coaching services and webinars to our Chinese community, as you know, through the AFI, Alliance for Impact, the platform. We were able to reach 7,000 people through the webinars, and really to share our career development, professional development strategies and techniques with our community so that they can also advance in their career. Because if you think about it, majority of the people, they want to succeed in their professional life, and which often that is one thing that drag them down, make them unfulfilled because they felt if I stayed in China or my own country, I would be more successful. But here, because of the language, because of the culture, I'm not as successful. By sharing our strategies, and hopefully, and they can step up and move up. And so, really, I want to give people hope. So here I am. I want to continue spark hope to the world.
Wow, it's a lovely story and it's so meaningful. It definitely, your name is resonating with so many people and
Thank
easy to
you.
remember too. I believe it's a great branding.
Thank you.
Yeah, Hope. I love this name. In your response, you talked about marriage, talked about your second marriage. I know you are genuinely happy. You are such a happy person, such a delightful person. But I know you were also openly talking about your marriage. And the first marriage, it was a difficult experience. You had to deal with the marriage challenges. Are you open to share a little bit about that experience? Because I know
Absolutely.
many of our audience are professionals and also female and or even male. Maybe they are in a marriage, like or a relationship. They are not happy, but they may not have the courage to take a step forward or change things. So I'm sure your experience will provide some insights.
Yeah, thank you, Muxiang, for asking that question. I am open to talk about my experience because I certainly hope that more people can live a happy life as I am now. It was not easy. Let's just say that. My first marriage, I got married when I was still in China after my grad school. And my first husband was my classmates during grad school, as it's very natural to get to know each other. I think when I was young, I didn't really know what I was looking for in a partner. I was looking for the things that tangible, like he has a degree as what I have, high education, and he has a good job. He's handsome, he's sporty. I'm very athletic. So those are the things that I was looking for in a person. But very quickly, I realized in our relationship, we are lacking of common goals or communication skills may be different, emotional skills are different, emotional intelligence skills are different. But here's the thing about life. You may call it sunk cost, which means when you made a decision, you know it's not right, but you continue on because you hope that what if something get better? What if something get better, right? So for me and my husband, once we married, in a year or two, we moved to the US. In the US, you don't have anybody else except your own family. So we stayed together, and then we had one child and then another child. And then once you have children, you're like, but I can't get out of this relationship because my children need a dad, right?
Mhm.
So my marriage actually lasted for 16 years. It was not a very happy marriage. Sometimes I felt that I was living really a small life. I had to hide my own, just hiding myself and talking about authenticity. I can't be authentic even in my own home. I felt that I was in a jail. So those years were very hard. But in the end, what made me made a decision to leave the relationship was exactly I was putting also my children first. As a mom, I was like, if I'm not happy, I cannot raise happy children. I
Mhm.
cannot pretend I'm happy. And so when I made that decision, got out of that relationship, and I was taking care of my children by myself full time. So I had a full time job and a full time mom job at
Mm.
home. It was quite difficult. And so I was doing that for almost a decade by myself until I got married again. So when I found my second husband, this time I knew what I was looking for. I
Mm.
knew I was looking for a person with similar mindset
Mhm.
and similar um, growth mindset, right? Care and caring and kind. And so my husband is really my soulmate, my best friend. We love do a lot of things together, travel, ski, sports, and so I'm very happy about where I am. However, if you ask me next life, do I, if I do this again, do I change? My answer is I'm not going to change anything, because if I didn't go through those hard 16 years, I won't be able to meet my current husband. So I'm going to do this again.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your personal experience, even it's very hard. I know sometimes takes courage to take a leap of faith in the future, especially when you have young children and by yourself and a career woman. You need to do so much more than just doing one job, or either taking care of kids or working on your career. But you made it through and you succeeded. I'm so happy for you, and I can see you have the happiness hanging on your face wherever you go. That's the true happiness, and I can see because you have this freedom. I loved the concept you used, like you felt like you were in a like an invisible jail when you couldn't be yourself, when you pretended to be someone else. And the best example and the best role model parent is someone needs to be independent, needs to be free, needs to be happy. And mama bear nature pushed you
Yeah,
out of that jail. I'm so glad that you made it.
thank
So
you.
I also see you have been putting a lot of time and effort in supporting the community and sharing wisdom and writing your articles and answering questions in your community group and constantly supporting others. If anyone had a trouble, you were always there. How you balance this type of generous contribution and also professional life, and also you have a family. How you balance out this, like community, professional, and family?
Yeah. First of all, thank you for your sharing of that. I really love to contribute back, right? I think if I looking at my work, professional life as a tech leader and leading team and community, I'm sharing and also leading I am still board member of several nonprofit organization, as well as my family. I have 4 kids together with my husband. So it's always something happening that we may need to step in and support. Also, I'm taking care of my mom, and she's 85. As we're aging, a lot of health issue may pop up. But to me, I think everybody has 24 hours besides the time that's essential for sleep and eat and all that. It's about how we leverage our time, how we are spending our time. I think it is when you do work, you concentrate on what you do. And then when you support community, you maximize the time you do. Even with my family, if I spend my time with my family, I remind myself this is my family time. I'm not going to think about either community or work. And so that way is focusing and present. But also there's like, how can you use the least amount of time, generate maximum amount of output, right? That's what we call productivity. And because there's so many ways that you can learn from other people. Instead of figuring out everything by yourself, maybe just a 5 minutes conversation, you got the solution. So for me at work, if I need to do some project, normally the first thing in my mind would be, who has done this, who might know the answer. And so I think just like you would go someone to who has experience asking for the answer. We can always learn from each other. And so that's what I have. My life is kind of aligned to my same purpose of giving back, contribute, and make a positive difference in the world. So I feel that my life is pretty scheduled, pretty full, but I don't feel stressed.
That's good. Yeah, that's great. That's why you're a coach. So, talking about the coaching, I know you have successful career in your industry and also doing other community work. And then you are also run an executive coaching business. So in your expert perspective, who needs executive coaching and what you found the most fulfilling from your executive coaching?
The answer is who need executive coaching? The answer is everybody. Just like you and I both associated with Toastmasters, and
Yes.
you are still, but I was a past member. Everybody need Toastmasters, right? We know even if you are a great public speaker, you can always be better. And just like that, even if a leader is a great leader, they still need executive coaching. If you look at some of the best CEOs in the world, they still have executive coach. So how come people who may not be there yet wouldn't explore some coaching? So I think coaching is a very young industry, and a lot of people, especially for people who may not either didn't know about coaching, or they may not have the resource, financial resource to do coaching. They may not have experience of that yet. But many companies offer executive coaching to their executives. That's why it's called executive coaching, right? But I think coaching become more and more accepted by professionals, because if you think about therapy and you think about coaching, therapy really to work on us on the like mental health issue. If somebody has depression or other type of mental health, and those professionals can really help them to maybe dig out in the past and find the problems and so on. But coaching is really anyone who want to be better can leverage. A lot of high performers believe, but I can do that myself. I think the difference is when we are thinking is you're using your different areas of your brain, right? But when you're working with a coach, because the coach are professionally trained, they can listen to you and hold a mirror and ask some empowering questions. All of a sudden, you're using your different areas of your brain. And so that whole process really can create some profound breakthrough. And I have done that to a couple hundreds of leaders. And every time, just maybe 5 minutes conversation, and you can have someone to see something they have never realized that, oh, that's possible. Or, oh, my thinking pattern was not entirely right, right? So when I see that impact to other leaders, other people, that's what gave me greatest satisfaction. And to be able to help some other people to advance in their career. And recently I was helping someone to do job interview, to mock an interview, and really to help them to be more confident during an interview. And if you think about to be able to impact another person's life or trajectory, and to me, that's one of the most satisfying work.
Yeah, I'm sure when you see the transformation in others because of your support and your guidance and your coaching, I believe that's the most satisfying part.
It
Yeah.
is. And
Yeah.
by the way, I don't just coach other people, right? I
Mhm.
coach my own family as well. And
Yeah.
they don't know that I was coaching them, but I was.
That's great. They got a personal trainer in their life. Just
Right.
that's that's awesome. I'm sure the people around you all benefited from your wisdom and knowledge, and
Thank you.
especially
Thank you,
you
Musa.
are so generously sharing without hesitation. Talking about that, because we both are from Chinese culture, we were supposed to preserve our opinions and not share so much. And I found both of us actually really love sharing what we know to create some impact, or even we don't mind to share our vulnerabilities to support others. And have you had any experiences that some other people may be not happy or not or jealous of you keep sharing and they misunderstood you for showing off?
That's a great question. So, for me, I think it's a journey of how much do I care about other people's opinion, right? I think from a Chinese culture, I often say that sometimes we kind of being put like black or white and two different boxes. Otherwise, you're being judged. So we were in that kind of culture growing up. So it was a journey for me to say, oh, if I say this, what other people may think of me. Um, it's I would say it's many years of journey. In the end, it's like, but it's my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. But if one person sees my sharing and it resonated with them, and they were able to take that, maybe make some changes to their life, to their thinking, to whatever, then that's meaningful to me. I'm not serving the other people who disagree with. It's okay to disagree, to have a conversation, but I'm not afraid being judged, because if they judge me, it's their issue, not my issue.
Yes. You are definitely very experienced and you are resilient. You already have this confidence. I believe Toastmasters training actually helped. Same thing.
Absolutely.
Same thing. Now I feel like, okay, judge me. Judge is part of the process. It's okay. Everyone is entitled to your own opinion. and
Right.
and
Absolutely.
actually, the other day, I think I was hurt because of other misunderstanding. I think Joy actually shared a quote with me, is that no matter how great you are, how excellent you are, you can't please everyone. I don't know exactly the words, but the meaning is that we have to trust our own values and do what we are passionate about. And definitely you are setting great example there. And for us to break this pattern and this habit and to be able to live freely and share freely, and that's empowering.
It is.
Thank
And
you.
by the way, that quote that Joy shared with you is so powerful, right? We
Yeah,
can't please everyone. So we
yeah,
have to choose who do we want to please.
yeah,
So when we think about, we care about other people. We
yeah,
care about, for me, I care about the women in technology. I
yeah.
want to support them to step up into leadership positions. So that's a group of people I care. If
Mhm.
other people, they somehow don't believe in what I said, that's okay. I'm not serving you. But
Yeah,
like I said, I believe majority of the people, they are kind, they're caring, they're good people. I firmly believe that. And for a few other people who might be like judgmental, who might be intentionally hurting other people, I'm not interested in playing game with you. So
yeah, yeah. It did take me some experience to learn that lesson, but
oh,
now I can
absolutely.
so resonate with you. And thank you so much for sharing your opinions, your insights. That will help empower others to be who they are, to be the authentic themselves. So I know you are athletic, and I also saw you were dancing, and actually I'm also in a dance class. And
Oh,
so what
yeah.
are your hobbies? Because I
I,
know you have such a good schedule with family, community, and professional coaching business. But I know you also have, yeah, the other side of all this, you also have a very active personal, how to say that, interest. Yeah,
yeah,
what
I
to
have a
do.
lot. I am athletic, so I love skiing during the winter. And I also love running. I work out almost every single day if I don't have like early meetings. I love paddleboarding. I love reading. You see a lot of books behind me on the shelf. Yeah, dancing, and I'm also in a choir.
Wow.
So I think those are the thing that we make choices, right? I
Mhm,
don't do them at the same time all the time. It's
mhm.
like at this time, this is what I'm going to focus on. Right now, I'm focused on dancing because I have a performance in June. I just performed during the weekend. So I think I I would never get bored to
Yeah,
say the
same.
least.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's important to have something to just purely enjoy, right? Because we know like taking care of a family is hard. Sometimes it's challenging, and professional life, sometimes you have time tight deadline to meet,
Mhm.
and you have work to deliver. It can be stressful as well. So the hobby really is something that I think a person can kind of run away, get away, and get lost into those activities and forget about everything else and then get recharged.
Yeah, I think that's the important part of life, is that we need to watch out our own well-being and our health. And
Yeah. What do
yeah,
you like, Muxiang? I know that you have a lot of hobbies as well.
we have very, very similar hobbies, it turns out. I do need to read more, but I'm a slow reader, so I do audiobooks more, and I listen
Okay.
to podcasts. And
That
also, I take morning walks every day, and I do like a brief, um, like power boost exercise
Yeah.
afterwards. Then yeah, in winter I also go skiing. It's a new thing for me, and turned out I'm not that bad. after
You're not.
after 3 seasons, I was able to ski on the black run. So yeah,
Wow, that's
I'm
amazing.
aggressive. I would say I'm a risk taker, like
You
adventure
are.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I also love dancing. Recently, I have been in a ballet dance
Oh, wow.
class. When I was young, we were very poor, not thinking about even dancing, nothing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I thought that that's only like rich people can do. And now, okay, I can afford that, and I can treat me this type of classes like a gift for myself. And as you said, it's like just to charge energy and socialize without thinking about work or other things. And I also have been like so busy with all kinds of community work too, and also work. And the good thing is my family is very low maintenance family. They are very easy to please. So now I'm very lucky overall. So tell me about your family a little bit. Your current family.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said that you have 4 kids, and
Yeah.
how old are they, and what do they do?
Yeah. So we have a combined family. We have 4 children together from 18 to 25. There, 2 of them are in college, freshman, sophomore, so rising sophomore and junior. And then we have the second oldest one is applying for medical school, working as a firefighter. And then
Oh,
the oldest one is studying a master degree in Case Western Reserve. And so they're all adults and have their life. We just need to support them whenever they need us. We're pretty kind of hand-free parents. We're
yeah,
not helicopter parents.
yeah,
And we believe that they're adults, they can make their decision, but whenever they need us, we will be there. And
yeah,
my husband is a very loving man. And with him, that's when I realized that, oh, actually, there is equity in the house. As you know, traditionally,
yeah.
way Chinese culture would believe some divide, right? Like the female need to cook and clean,
Yeah,
and the male would do some outside work, all that. And we actually just pick up whoever has time will cook, and there's no such thing of this is your job, you need to do this. And so that I really love about that. And sometimes I would say that my husband gave me more freedom than I gave myself. If I said, oh, but I really want to do this for the family, he would encourage me to spend time on myself, to spend time with my girlfriends, have a girlfriend's night out, right?
yeah,
And so I think it's
sweet.
very important to have a partner to
Mhm.
truly care about you and support you unconditionally.
Yeah, wow. I can imagine how happy internally you felt when you are fully supported and empowered. And also at the same time, because you're fully charged and energetic, you have more attention and energy to spend with family. And
Yes.
we'll get back to him. That's what I'm saying. Like when 2 nights together, you just added that, multiplied the energy and this impact on each other's lives.
For
And
sure.
when if just one side is bright, the other side is dark and pulling you, and eventually you will be drained and exhausted. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just how applies either in work relationship or personal relationship. This it's always mutual support is so important.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
When you
also
support each
fortunate.
other, you both going to a new heights.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
My husband and I have a total opposite characters, but over time we learned to support each other better. And I also feel like so lucky and happy. And recent years, I put more time on my own personal development, and everyone's happier. I feel like
Yay.
when the wife is happier, life is happier for sure.
Right. Happy wife, happy life. That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh, I just love talking with you. I can talk for hours, but I know I have to respect your time, and I maybe save that for another time.
Sounds good.
So yeah, well, since we are close to our discussion and the end of our discussion, do you have any parting message for our listeners, for our audience, or for immigrants? And what are your biggest wisdom you think will benefit them the most? I know you have many. You can share a couple.
Thank you. I think the main thing for me is for the past 50 years, in a few weeks, I will be 52. I think for me, life is a journey of learning, a journey of growing. So if we don't put a limit onto ourselves, if we don't say, I'm too old to do this, if we don't say, because I'm an immigrant, I can't do that. If we don't say, I'm a woman, so I can't do that, I think we can live a life of our creation. And I certainly believe our life can continue to be recreated, reinvented. And I think as AI or technology coming at us, the thing that cannot be replaced by AI is our creation, our human connection. That's hard for AI, for technology to replace. So I would encourage everyone continue to find yourself, to continue explore what you want for this precious life, and continue to create that connection with people surrounding you instead of looking at our phone all the time.
Thank you so much. That's the great wisdom and the insights from the tech leader. Brother, yeah, also talking about the AI, but what AI couldn't do. And thank you so much for all that you shared with me and shared with our audience. I believe whoever listened to what you shared will be inspired, will be empowered. And again, I appreciate your time and your support and your night that you shared with us.
Thank you, Muxiang. One more sentence.
Yes.
Because of the name of your podcast, I do want to mention how much I love the name of your podcast, because we each can be a light to other people. We never know what another person is going through. So when you can be kind, be that light. And I think by doing so, we all living a better life, a more loving life. Thank you for your podcast to ignite that light to other people.
Thank you for your beautiful feedback and beautiful comments on the podcast, and for being the brightest, one of the brightest light in my life. Thank you. So,
Thank you, Michelle.
thank you for listening.